right, how do I create and document systems for scaling? Thank you for asking, because this is probably one of my favorite questions. And I'm not saying that to say it, but I'm actually serious. Why? Because the faster that you can get the systems in line, the faster that you can get the scaling in line, the faster things will be. And we actually have a program called Virtual Scaling Accelerator where we talk about scaling virtually with your staff, with your systems. We're the consultant that comes in and tells you, here's what's going on, here's the positions that you can combine, here's how you outsource, so on and so forth. If you want more information on that, we have a link below. But ultimately, we're going to be teaching you why creating repeatable systems early is the foundation for scaling a business, right? Because it's got to shift your mindset from a doer to a builder of machines. This is a problem that many entrepreneurs have up front, is ultimately they are the doer. They want to do everything themselves. I'm a victim of it as well, right? I'm definitely part of that problem. But you have to shift your mind into who can do this for me by outsourcing, and who is the builder of machines? You are, right? You're the doer, but instead of doing the task, do the task that builds the machine and the system that actually does the task for you over and over and over. Switch your mindset, it'll be a lot better. So ultimately, that's what it was required, is shifting your mindset, because you're going to continue to fall in this trap. And I get it. The trap is this. Why am I going to teach somebody else how to do this? Because I can do it better, faster, and more efficient. And I can do it in a quicker amount of time than I could if I taught somebody else how to do it and they make a mistake. And then I have to go over there and I have to teach them again. Maybe it's just teaching them the first time. Yes, you can do it faster, but you're teaching them one time. You're teaching them a second time. You're teaching somebody else a third time. Teach somebody once or twice. Front load that cost and the time into getting them to perfect it. Get it on a video, record a video of you doing it and teaching it in the video so that you don't have to teach it again. It's their time to go back and watch the video. That becomes part of your SOPs, your standard operating procedures, right? Because ultimately this is the curse, is you doing everything manually. It's going to result in bottlenecks and it's going to result in burnout. You're going to talk about, hey, I can't keep my head above water. That's exactly why, because you're doing everything. It takes me back to days in my warehouses when I tried to do everything in-house, manage, do things that I was not supposed to be doing, do tasks that I needed to offload to other companies that's their core business. You know, lasering, sanding, polishing, welding, things like that. Like there's businesses that expert in that. That's their expertise. That's all they do all day. They can do it better, faster, and more efficient than I can. But instead, I took it on. I wanted to manage my staff and I wanted to have the oversight on it, having the headache in my head of like, oh my gosh, they're going to fall behind. They're going to ruin material. They're not going to do it right. What I didn't realize is it's so much easier to just pay somebody who can do this. That's what they do. And then I get a finished product. Yeah, it costs a little bit more, but really I was not factoring my time into the hard costs, just what I was paying the labor to get the job done. So it's a lot easier. Take yourself out of this mindset and create the systems to do it. Part of the systems may be using another company, maybe installing a piece of software. There's different systems for different things. Think of the system and building the machine so that you, as the business owner, just make sure that the machine stays running. You're the guy lifting the hood up, looking at everything, going, okay, yep, that's working, fluid levels are right here, this is going on, this staff's doing this, boom, we're good to go. You're not the one that's fixing everything. Why would you fix your car? You'd bring a mechanic in to have the mechanic fix the car. You may know that the fluid's low in it, but you don't know how to change the fluid, or you don't want to do that. So why are you going to do this in your own business, right? So the entrepreneur's curse is doing everything manually. Now, systems, document processes that can be followed without you. You've got to get the videos in line for this. And I'm telling you this from personal experience because I did this early on. We have a warehouse, we deal with high pressure systems and building systems in one of my companies. And ultimately, I was the one doing everything. I said, I need to systematize everything. So I came up with an alphanumeric code for each video, and ultimately certain letters dictate certain products or different systems. And then the number is the number of the video in the process step. And so I record these videos. Now my staff can go in, they can look at these videos, and they can have a collection where it's their responsibility, it's their time to go in and do that. I will teach them once, probably at the same time that I'm recording the video, their responsibility to maintain that and go back and watch it over and over, because the video doesn't lie. A video is just like a contract being written between two people. It's what I'm telling you, but I'm solidifying that into a recorded session so that you can go back and watch that, and I don't have to repeat myself and stop what I'm doing on a higher level task to come in and show you how to do something else again. This is how you want to start the business from ground up, right? Now, what are some of the most frequent tasks that you can start doing this with? onboarding a customer, processing an order, posting content, certain social posts, boxing products, anything that deals with orders, taking the order, processing the order, calling the customer back, shipping something out, what products go in what boxes, if there's multiple different ways to pack different things, what are the systems you're using, what are the softwares you're using, all of it. I can't tell you how many times I've used loom.com, and ultimately it's worked wonders because it definitely puts the videos there in front of my staff so that I record it once and they see it. Also hard videos that I take in some of my operating businesses that are not online, right? And so how to document these things, step-by-step checklist. Some people are visual learners, some people like to read. If you can have both, it's the best of both worlds. Nowadays, you can record the video, and the perfect thing is this. You record the video, pop this thing into a transcriber, and then ultimately go into a GPT or an AI and say, hey, make me a step-by-step checklist based on what I talked about in the video. Voila, it's done. Super easy, super fast, super efficient, right? So you're doing the video walkthrough, the screen recording, the explanation, and then you're basically getting this in the AI to give you some SOPs. There's no reason why you shouldn't do that. Pull the camera out and start recording everything, right? And use super simple tools like Google Docs, Notion, ClickUp, Trello, which I use all of those, certain ones for certain tasks, but Google Docs is great. I can always upload different information there. Google Docs has tabs now, so I can have different tabs for different things. The different tabs can be different parts of the process. Maybe one document is a specific product, but here's the different parts of the process. Do whatever is right for you that makes things efficient, easy to find, and ultimately doesn't bog down the system, right? Because the easiest way to scale your business is, how do I take the roadblocks out up front for the customer? All the calls, picking the call up immediately within 2 rings, processing the order, what happens from here, what's the time for sale from the time they contacted your business on an ad. The faster that you can remove roadblocks there, the faster you can get the sale, the faster your business will grow. Now on the back end, internally, what's the fastest that you can get your business running? Okay, this all comes into some Six Sigma stuff. I'm a black belt in Six Sigma, and they talk about process improvement. You have waste, overstock, understock, movement. There's many different wastes that are included here, but if you can look at this from a very simplistic lens of, how do I remove the roadblocks and the wasted time? How do I document this process? How do I make sure my employees are trained? How do I make sure that my employees are following these trainings? How do I make sure that they're running efficiently in the business, whether the movements are happening, when shipments come in, when they go out? These are all things that you need to take in consideration, right? So step-by-step checklist, video walkthroughs, and SOPs, which are standard operating procedures. Those are gonna get you way ahead of most. They seem silly, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen business owners start businesses, including myself. I have all the SOPs in my head, and I figure, hey, I'll just tell this person, they'll remember the first time. I'm telling you right now, what'll end up happening is you'll have a great worker. They're gonna remember it, they're gonna do it for 6 months, and then it's like they roll the dice one day and just say, I'm gonna F off today forward. Something as simple as putting stickers on something, and they're gonna do it wrong. Well, guess what? You can't get mad at them, right? Who knows? Maybe something happened to them and they completely forgot the process. But if they just, instead of remembering the whole process, if they're able to remember where that process was documented at and where you recorded it, or you had a Google sheet or a doc on it, all they have to do is remember where that's at. There's a library, they can go access it. Now the burden is on them. It's not on you. You've done your due diligence, you've recorded it, you put an SOP in place, and you've taught them how to do it, and you've taught them how to go back and reference it. So you've done 4 things, probably explained it 2 or 3 times as well. Now it's on them to go back and follow it. You can hold them accountable, and technically they're able to be held accountable if they don't follow through on that. So these are things that you want to look at in the business, coming from hard truths in my business as well. So good systems are going to be to improve quality, consistency, and speed, like I talked about. And these systems are living documents. It's not like a static document. I like living documents. Anywhere I can have a computer screen, that would be best. And if it's a touch screen, even better. Some of our shipping processes, it's a touch screen, so you don't have to go with a mouse or a keyboard. You're able to do all this stuff. Certain images on, here's how to box certain things. Here's the proper procedures on how to get the boxes ready for the products. Everything may be different. All businesses are different, but you want to make sure they're there, they're living, they're updated, they're current, and ultimately, if you have better methods, update those better methods early on. Now, delegating using systems and not the memory, like I just talked about. I'm gonna repeat this frequently because the faster you can get things out of your head, the faster that you can get people to see what is actually going on versus having to rely on you. Remember, if you're the bottleneck, the business stalls. You should be able to step away from this business and have everything there so that if you had to get on a phone call with somebody, you can tell them at least where to go access it. God forbid they didn't remember, and it would still be able to run. Maybe 1 or 2 calls on an executive decision for a novelty or something new, right? A new situation, a new question, something like that. But if you're being on the phone all day and you're being asked the same questions or you're repeating the same information, there's seriously a problem there. And that's when some of this stuff should apply. You should have better systems, better operating procedures, and better things in line to help with your staff. So ultimately, delegate from the system, not the memory. And of course, what's the takeaway from this? The takeaway is businesses that scale are businesses built on systems, not on superheroes. You know, and I, again, have made this mistake so many times because I'm just running and gunning and boom, 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 let's get it done. The faster you can document, the faster this thing will be there. Go back and update. Make it simple. Don't convolute it. Use Dropbox. Use Google Apps, Sheets, Docs, whatever it may be. Maybe it's Notion. Use processes and videos and tools like Loom, and then use project management softwares. For the next one, we're going to be talking about how do I manage cash flow to avoid running out of money. This is an important one. You're not going to want to miss it. See you there.